Hello everyone, and welcome to the third devlog for Vengeful Rites, a virtual reality RPG. My name's Anthony, and today's devlog is going to be a little all over the place. We're working on a lot of different things, some specific to Chapter 2, some, universal across the entire game, and I'm just going to jump right into it. So the first thing I'd like to show is that, which is actually already in the game, is a new comfort setting that we have that I've disabled here, which is to limit your field of view. So a black vignette will be activated now. You can decide to have it while climbing and moving, just while moving or falling, only while climbing or never. And basically the way that works is based off how quickly you're moving, it will reduce your field of view here. So you can see you get this vignette. So for some people that struggle with motion sickness but prefer to move around using sliding locomotion, this might be something to help you be able to do that. Basically, I know there's been a couple of people who have said that they feel a little nauseous sometimes while playing, and if this is the type of locomotion you prefer, hopefully that will help you. It also activates while climbing if you prefer to have it do that, and it's not velocity based. Then it's just as soon as you grab onto it, it'll go full strength. You can climb, and when you get off it, it deactivates like it should. Something else that's something that's coming to the current game. That's actually already in the game. Something else that's coming to the current game has nothing to do with Chapter 2, is we've redesigned the inventory. So something those of you who have played the game will notice that this looks very different than it did before, and that's because we no longer have separate sides for equipment or consumables. They've been combined into this one now, which you don't have to worry about it. Your save isn't going to be messed up in any way. Don't worry about that. It's still the same number of slots. It's just sort of reconfigured. But basically, you can store your consumables and everything together now, which is important because we have made it so that you can actually store all of your consumables, right? So like the normal apples and mana potions that you might find around or that enemies drop, a lot of people wanted to be able to hold on to them, and previously you couldn't, but now you can. So you can see you can just grab these and store them. We go get some mana potions. And but one thing to note is that they will not respawn. So if you find these around the map, for example, they're going to, once you grab them, that's it. They're gone. I mean, if an enemy drops them, you'll always be able to grab them, but you can't sort of reload into it and go re-grab these consumables. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're thinking you might be able to farm them that way, you won't be able to. But you can store them now, which obviously is a nice sort of convenience feature, and it allows you to have a little more agency over the way that you play the game. You can hold on to them for later in case you decide to go really ham or something in a fight and use all your mana. Another thing with the inventory that we've changed that no one's really asked for, but we've noticed it watching a few people playing on YouTube videos and streams and such, is that people want to be able to reach into the inventory and just place things in that way. So now you can. You no longer have to select a slot while it's open. You can just reach into it, do what you want to do, and it'll just put it into the first available slot. And of course, if you can control it and put it wherever you want, and it'll stay there. So if I save the game right now and come back in, it'll maintain this layout. So if you want to keep your weapons and your consumables separated, you still totally can. And a major thing, one of the main reasons we've done this, is because we've added quest items to the game. So a lot of things going forward, and we're going to retrofit some of it into Chapter 1, will require you to actually collect things around the environment and then use them to progress. So you might need a key, for example, to open a door, or some part of machinery to activate a mechanism later on, things like that. And you'll always be able to store them here. So those are separated so that it doesn't eat into your normal inventory space. You'll always have these 6 slots. And it's going to be a pretty significant portion of the game, which will be something that we feel will add a little more depth to it. Because as we've mentioned in the previous devlog, we're trying to add more of a story element to it and make you feel like you're really on a journey or an adventure. And that's one way to do it. There's a lot more coming to that, NPCs that'll be actually talking to you, cinematics, cutscenes, and the like. But those are a couple of things that they sort of all go hand in hand. And that the inventory thing obviously already functions as in the game. That'll be in a patch coming up in the next few days. Now, onto the new stuff for Chapter 2. Obviously, we've got, this is a small portion of the new environment, although I don't think it's going to actually be nighttime like this. It's going to be spooky. You can see we've got the fog and your floating wraith enemy over here. But it's going to be, we'll show more of it in the next devlog. I don't want to go into too much detail, but it's coming along really nicely. It feels really cool. We're really happy with it. And we'll do a much bigger, like, sort of deep dive into that in the next devlog. But in the meantime, I'll show you some of this. This guy doesn't have AI yet, but this is an enemy that you'll be fighting. He's a mage, a caster type, and he's annoying. he's gonna have some different move sets and different abilities that you haven't seen before, and he's gonna work very closely together with your boy, who I'm about to show you. Let me load back into the game because I killed him since I have a pretty small area to walk around here. But this is your boy, the skeleton. We showed him off in the last devlog. He has proper AI now. I can actually fight him. He's not totally finished with that, and he still has placeholder animations and voice sound effects and everything. But he's functional. He has a few of his actual animations. So let me show him off to you a little bit here. First thing that's obvious, he's dual wielding. So that's new. Also, he attacks a lot faster and he hits a lot harder. These are placeholder swords, so he's using the same swords the goblin was using. Let me get him in the light here. Whoops. And obviously he still sounds like the goblin. But you can see he's going to do a lot of work. He hits much harder, and he hits twice, like when he does that slash. So if you thought the goblins were easy, you were going to have a little bit more of a challenge here. And if you thought the goblins were hard, then you better start practicing, because this guy's not going to get much easier. Obviously, a lot of this stuff is placeholders, his animations, like he needs proper parries and things, and a couple more different two-handed attacks. But this is what we're going for this guy. And obviously, we'll have more enemies too. Oh, well, see how easy it is? Dude's doing work. But let me kill him the old-fashioned way, and I will demonstrate now something that you'll have to help out with this, which is new spells. Obviously, every chapter, you guys know, we plan to incorporate new spells into the game. New tools, new weapons, new enemies, obviously. And the idea is that you'll be advancing at a rate that you can keep up with it. So that dude obviously is rough. And in a one-on-one, he almost killed me, actually, which is maybe he should be a bit weaker. But, if you're up against a couple of those guys, you're going to be in trouble. However, there are new abilities coming that will make that a bit easier. And this ability has technically been in the game forever. It's just been turned off. But it's my favorite ability of all time. And it is Fire Wave. And it feels so satisfying to murder these guys with this. And you could do two, and just feel like the god of fire. And it just feels so good. You guys are going to love that, I think. I know I love it. It's been my favorite spell forever. I don't know why I hate that apple. But there's that coming in, and obviously you'll have to solve a puzzle to acquire that ability as you have before. And it's a much more intricate one than the other ones are. Again, this goes into the quest item thing that we're talking about. But yeah, that is just very dope. And I hope you guys are excited for that, because I'm excited just showing it and finally being able to use it myself when going through the game, because I've been limiting myself to the same thing that you guys have available. All right, so what have I talked about? Inventory, enemies. Chapter 2 obviously is still very heavy development. We're working really hard on it. My brother he's been working on one of the new maps for it for a few weeks now, and he's gaining a lot of momentum, and he's really getting into it. And it's going to be great. It's looking really cool so far. I'm really excited for it. It's much more open than any of the maps that we've seen so far. And yeah, it's going to really, we think, up the game a bit as far as the feel of going on an adventure. Like, we feel like we're doing an all right job with that so far, but this is really going to bring it to the next level. All right, so inventory, spells, new enemies, comfort settings. I think I covered just about everything I wanted to go over in this. The story elements, like I mentioned, they're still being worked on as well. So we'll show more of that probably in the next one, but I think the next devlog is going to cover, or it's going to focus a lot on the new enemies proper and some of the new map. We could show off some of that. But in the meantime, I think that's about everything we wanted to cover here. It's a pretty short one. And we will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to share your thoughts and feedback of the game, or you have any questions, I'll put a link to our Discord in the description below. I would love it if you come and share your thoughts. Feedback, especially constructive criticism, is very helpful to us. The game, it isn't perfect. We're happy with it, but it can always get better. And sometimes we don't know how to do that without someone telling us that they find something is an issue. So if you have thoughts, you know of a way to make it better, please let us know. We don't take it personally. We understand that everyone's trying to help. That's the whole point of early access, right? So, yeah, that's it for now. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping by, and join the Discord if you'd like to see more. Thanks.